Well, hello. Let's see. There we go. Welcome, everyone, to the January 10th live listening stream. My name is Josh Carney. Most of y'all already know me as Music Tech Help Guy on YouTube. We do these listening live streams every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, where you can submit your track. I'll give it a listen. I'll give it some constructive feedback in terms of the mix, the production, maybe even a little bit of the songwriting as well. Just remember that everything I say in these streams is just my own opinion. It's not, I'm not here to cut people down or to cut down your talent or your song. I'm here to simply give you constructive criticism and constructive feedback. And I look at your song in a way like, what would I do with my song? And that's how I approach these things. So try to be nice in the comments as well. Not everyone is a pro at this. We have people from all different stretches of life and different levels of experience. So real quick, before we get into this week's songs, I just want to take a quick moment to shout out our amazing sponsor for these streams, Boombox.io. Boombox is really like the ultimate file sharing, collaboration, and now distribution service, along with a bunch of cool AI tools for musicians, composers, producers, songwriters, bands, mix engineers. They now have, as I mentioned, they now have distribution, so you can actually work on a project, collaborate on a project, and then release your project completely with Boombox. No need for Dropbox, WeTransfer, SoundCloud, or anything like that. Imagine if like SoundCloud and MySpace back in the day and Dropbox all had a baby, and then you add like TuneCore, DistroKid to that as well. That's what Boombox is. So you can sign up for a completely free account, and you can upload your track for review. The way this works is usually on Wednesdays or Thursdays of each week, I will make a post on my community page where you can upload your song, and then I'll check it out on Friday. And you can always upload day of if you want. Just if we have a lot of songs, just keep in mind that the more songs there are, the less of a chance I'll be able to get to all of them. If you want to sign up for a Boombox Pro or Premium account and tap into some of their Pro and Premium features, including distribution, including other things like advanced playlists, playlists with stats. There's like contracts. It'll write up contracts for royalty splits, all sorts of cool stuff. If you're interested in a Pro or Premium account, I'll leave a link to that in the video, or not the video description. I'll leave a link to it in the chat here. And if you use this affiliate link, you'll get 30% off your first year. So that's like $4 off a Pro plan or $6 off of a Premium plan for the entire year. And I think you get your first month free too. So thanks to Boombox for sponsoring these streams. Let's get right into the music. Let's just refresh this. Let's see how many we have. What do you know? We have 9. All 9 of these will be seen. So again, if you're new to this, you haven't been in here before, I typically try to listen to one track per person or per artist. But when we have like a short day like today where there's only 9 of them in here, I most likely can get through all of these, even these 3 down here. So if you didn't get yours heard last week, or you have another track you want to submit, feel free to do so now, and I'll try to get to it. But I do listen to these in the order that they were received. So we're going to start right here with "'Cause You're Beautiful" by Lunar Madam. I did this one just so I could learn how to use Apple Loops and Logic Session drums and bass. Turns out the wife loved it. Okay, let's give it a listen.
my heart about to blow. I'm caught up, caught up, caught up in your adorable smile. Let me take you where you wanna go. I'm in love, in love, in love with your impeccable style. I want you now. I want forever with you. Just show me how. If you want it all, you're gonna find your way. 'Cause the future is yours. Don't give it all away. 'Cause you're beautiful. You make everybody feel alive. You light up, light up, light up. You light up every room. I feel the thunder when our hearts collide. And I know, I know, I know that you can feel it too. Stay with me now. Stay another lifetime with me. I'll show you how. If you want it all, you're gonna find your way. 'Cause the future is yours. Don't give it all away. With the lights down low, we can hold on to the night until the moonlight fades and everything feels right. 'Cause you're beautiful. If you want it all, you're gonna find your way. 'Cause the future is yours. Don't give it all away. You got the fire in you, and you're lighting up the sky. If you feel lonely inside, I'll stay with you tonight. 'Cause you're beautiful.
Cool, not bad for a tune you said that was composed with loops and session players. The beat is nice. I would pull down. There's some higher pitched like synths in there that are maybe like cutting through a little too much. There's like that effect. There's like an effect. I'm not really sure what it is, like a transitional effect. I'd pull that way back in the mix. There are some spots where you have doubled up vocals where they're not quite in alignment. And I'm not saying every single vocal has to be perfectly aligned, but you can really hear it on like the consonants in the words. Like if you have an S at the end of a word or any consonant, and those consonants on the long notes don't line up, you hear all of the notes lining up, the tone of the notes lining up, and at the end of that waveform you hear like you know what I mean? It's like this consonant noise that doesn't line up. So I would maybe play around with some manual editing, or you can also do it with flex time to kind of line up your backing vocals a little bit better. I would try producing your voice a little bit more. You have a voice for like honestly, and again, this is not meant to put anyone down, but you have a voice that's meant for like country or acoustic rock or something like that. That's when I hear your voice, that's what I think of, like a man and his guitar. So, I would maybe try to produce your vocal a little bit more. I would actually pull back the vocal tuning a little bit because your vocal actually sounds pretty good. But I would maybe try to emphasize more of the high end and give it some more top end saturation, because you've got a very like sort of mid-range, baritone voice. And there's some spots where you've got backing vocals that are really nice, but I would try layering some falsetto vocals up an octave and that's just going to take that hook and it's really going to pop it out in the mix. Even if those octaves are pretty low in the mix, it's still going to just create, a different sound for the chorus than you have for the verses. But yeah, I mean, not bad considering you did it with loops and session players. So I actually was working on a track the other day with an artist I'm producing for, and we're working on her album, and we had this like synth bass, like this eighth note synth bass, and it sounds like my voice. Yeah. I'm not the best singer in the world, but I can get up in the brighter range if I really try, but it's like really hard for me to sing like falsetto or sing soft. I can sing one volume most of the time. But yeah, we were using like an eighth note synth bass on a song, and we were like, hey, we didn't really like the bass. We just typed in the chords and threw the session bass player on there, and it just instantly worked. So those session players are really powerful instruments, whether you like them or not. So good work. Let's move on to Nick F. Edwards, First Love 2025. Very much appreciate you taking the time to listen and comment on my track. Regards, Nick. All right, Nick, let's give it a listen.
I'm on the train back from London, and I'm hearing your news. Ricky says you found another boy. I guess I lose. I feel the sadness now that you are lost. At 16, who knew that paths would never again cross? First love, you were my sweet romance. First love, we never stood a chance.
The first thing I'm hearing is I like the vibe of the track overall. In the beginning there was like a little piano motive. I would make sure that's a little more locked in. The timing's a little more locked in, and I would add some reverb to it just to kind of. I don't want it to sound like it's in the background. I would want it to be like the main sort of intro motive, but I would add some reverb just to give it some. I don't know, just to give it some depth. It just kind of sounds super dry, and it sounds like a kid just plunking on the piano. So I would tighten up the timing, add a little reverb, make it a little more intentional. Your voice, as for the vocal chain, there's like a modulation effect on there, like a chorus effect or an ensemble effect of some kind that is sounding really phasey. I don't think it's adding to your voice. I don't know if that's like a double. It kind of sounds like if you use auto-tune, but you blend in the auto-tune with the dry signal, which people say they do that all the time, but I haven't found too many uses of blending auto-tune with the dry signal. If that's what it is, I would just put the auto-tune at 100%, not the amount of auto-tune, but I'd put the mix blend at 100%. So you're just hearing the tuned signal, then maybe, I mean, I don't really think you need to dial back the vocal tuning. If there's some there, I can barely tell it's there, but it's just that phasey effect I'm hearing on the voice that I don't like. So my comment I added was, are you using modulation effects on a bus or aux track or directly on the track for the vocals? I would let more of your drive signal come through and then keep the modulation as is. So if you're not, try using an aux track for whatever chorus effect that is and blend it in to the mix. Like most of my vocal effects when I mix, like other than like reverb being like pretty noticeable, things like slapback delays and modulation, they're like barely in the mix. I know some people will say, if it's barely in the mix, what's the point of even having it in the mix? And when you listen to it before and after, you can tell that there's something missing. It's just like it's almost like a little modulation bed of sound that sort of supports your voice. So I like to think about it that way.
And now I'm headed home, back to where I belong. If you don't love me, gonna have to move right along. And I cried the tears.
You know what it is? I wonder if it's a slapback delay. I wonder if it's a really close slapback. If that's what it is, I would maybe filter the slap delay a little bit to make it different from the dry vocal, and then maybe pull up the timing a little bit so it's a little bit of a longer slap. Yeah, it almost sounds like a slap delay, but I'm not 100% certain.
Now that you were lost, who knew at 16 that paths would never again cross? First love, you were the only one. First love, only to be undone. First love, you were my sweet romance. First love, we never stood a chance. We never stood a chance. We never stood a chance.
Yeah, I would pull up the vocal, add a little more compression just to kind of level out the dynamics. And I know, like, when I say level out the dynamics, some people go crazy, like, why would you want less dynamics? But with vocals, like, sometimes the issue is you hear certain words better than other words, and you want to kind of bring everything together. And I don't mean make it flat, because then what's the point of a compressor? You just use a limiter. But yeah, I would maybe like a little more compression to kind of normalize some of those dynamics a little bit and bring all of the words out sort of equally. A little more reverb on the vocal. I'm still not sure about what that doubling modulation effect is, but whatever it is, I would say it needs to go, or it needs to be, subdued heavily. But otherwise, like musically, it's fine. I think it needs a different section, like another section, just to kind of, break things up a bit, like maybe add a bridge section or just something to kind of get away from, the way the track is. Like it seems like it's kind of doing the same thing instrumentally the whole time. Okay, let's move on to I Just Want to Stay With You by Tashad Noor. Work in progress, final stages in the arrangement. Did a pre-mastering just to get a feel for the dynamics. Comments are welcome. All right, Tashad, let's give it a listen. Tashad, good stuff as always. Yeah, it's given me kind of like Maroon 5 vibes as well, as someone mentioned in the comments, except that his voice isn't completely auto-tuned to shit like almost every single Maroon 5 track. Yeah, I mean, look, the mix is on point for the most part. The arrangement's great, vocals, performances are great. Minor things, super minor things. I would add a little bit more sub to the kick drum, because the kick, when I pull out, when I solo my sub, all of the sub information is coming through in the bass, but almost none is coming through in the kick. It's mostly like a mid-rangey kick. So I would add like some more bottom end to the kick, just to reinforce the beat. The string work, string arrangements are really awesome. The female backing vocals, I would pull them up like 1 to 3 dB and maybe give them a little more mid-range body. But other than that, I mean, you look like you're ready to go into mastering. So great work. Great work. All right, let's move on to Terry Barnett, Realize. Let's give it a listen.
I look for us in every play and movie. I search for you and I in every book. I look for hope in everything around me. Now I realize there's nowhere left to look. On the floor, broken down, and I wonder, do you feel the same? So I cry as I try to make it through tomorrow with a heart that cannot heal. Maybe what you're feeling will turn out to not be real. Just think about you and I. You realize. I go in search of others who have been here. I look for all the others who've asked why. I go in search of anyone to help me through the pain. Now I realize there's no one left to try. On the roads, going down, and I wonder, do you feel the same? So I cry as I try to make it through tomorrow with a heart that cannot heal. Maybe what you're feeling will turn out to not be real. Just think about you and I. You realize. You realize. Break my heart, only if there is no other way. What does your heart say? I go to all the places where I've seen you. I go to all the places that you'd know. I'm looking for a place where I can feel you near. And now there's nowhere left to go. Out to dry, here I hang, and I wonder, do you feel the same? So I cry as I try to make it through tomorrow with a heart that cannot heal. Maybe what you're feeling will turn out to not be real. Just think about you and I. You realize. You realize. You realize. You realize.
Yeah, cool stuff. I mean, look, the mix is mostly on point. A couple little things I would do. I want to hear a little more of the snare. I feel like the snare is getting buried, except for in the fills. I'd pull up the kick a little bit too. I'd pull back some of like the auxiliary percussions, like the tambourine, just a touch. Again, all minor changes. I think the main change I would make overall is I would dial back the vocal tuning on your voice by like 50% and just let your natural voice come through a little bit better. Because again, it's like this twangy sort of country rock, southern rock kind of song. And then I just hear an auto-tuned vocal and I'm like, I'm used to it. It's used all the time in the genre. Don't get me wrong, but it kind of, it's like the vocal production and the song don't match. Like your voice matches the song. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. Your voice, you've got a good voice. Your voice matches the song. What I'm saying is you're a good singer. Dial back that auto-tune 50% and go with that. I'd rather hear a little bit more variation in the vocal and have the vocal kind of match the style of the song better than to have every single note be perfect. Another thing I would do is there was like some in the main hook, the realize. I would do some like vocals up an octave with falsetto. I've said this a ton before, but you record like 3 or 4 falsetto tracks, put them way in the back, line them up with the lead vocal, and it creates a whole different energy, especially when you're trying to make a hook stand out in the mix. So cool stuff, good stuff. Let's move on to, we are moving quickly today. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot how to say this. Obisan. I'm sorry. Obisan. I'm so sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Again, at Sunrise, I wanted to make a breezy electronic chill pop song with the top shimmer and reverb, over the top shimmer and reverb. Please don't hate me for using some stock vocals. One day I'll be brave enough to sing my own lyrics. No worries at all. So these are, I'm assuming these are like a stock vocal or like a vocal loop or vocal sample or something. But yeah, let's give it a listen.
Feeling alright. Ocean raising your eyes. Diving deep, you're all mine, all mine. Trying to be wise to say that I'm your diamond.
Yeah, you succeeded in a breezy chill pop song for sure. It's very beautiful sounding. I love the groove. I love all the cool sound design. If you're using that drum loop, I would maybe augment the drum loop with an additional kick drum just to give it some more thump, because your kick is not really in the sub. I would take some of these vocal ideas, because you said you use stock vocals, which is fine. You're just, it's an idea in progress. I would take some of these stock vocals, the ones that are kind of more ambient and then the background. I would keep them there, pull them way down in the mix, and they almost serve an instrumental function then. And then the ones that are like actual like lyrics, I would cut those, and then, like you're saying, eventually you'll sing your own lyrics. But the thing is, we live in 2024, man. Like, you can collaborate with people on Boombox. You can find people who are looking for work. You can find people who are looking for, just to get their voice on records. And there are some people who are just naturally gifted vocalists and have the sound, but maybe they're not very well known. And there's a lot of folks out there like that. And if you don't want to go Boombox, you could also use like something like Fiverr. I've hired vocalists on Fiverr, and most of them are pros. Like, they're really good, to the point where they're going to tune their own vocal for you, and then you can just drop it in there and mix it and call it a day. So I've had very good experiences with Fiverr vocalists. The only thing that's tricky there with Fiverr is sometimes they don't want their actual stage name or performance name to be, or artist name to be used on tracks that aren't like official collaborations. But yeah, definitely get a vocal melody on that. I love the vibe, maybe use some of the stock vocals as as like inspiration for your own vocal melody. But overall, like, the mix is on point. The groove is cool. I love all the cool ambient sound design. Just needs a lead vocal, and maybe a different section too. Just, I don't know. It's got different sections, but it all kind of rides on the tonic chord. Yeah, it's got that boom, but don't boom, and it's throughout. So I'd maybe think about another section you can add, or maybe like again, you'll notice it when you put vocals on the track, where the bass line and the harmony needs to maybe shift into a different direction just to give the vocal some flair to it. So think about that. But otherwise, good work. All right, let's move on to Keep Moving by CHDB. Let's give it a listen. Yeah, so the beat is nice, the mix is good. I would like to hear a little more, like, just instrumentally, a little more top end, mid range saturation. It seems a little mid rangey to my ear. The other thing I would do is the vocals that are throughout all sound like hook vocals and backing vocals. I don't really hear they need to come up way up in the mix because they sound like a backing layer. This sounds like an instrumental that needs a lead vocal on it with a bunch of backing vocal layers. So what I would do is one, pull those vocals up because some of the lyrics are kind of unintelligible in the mix. But furthermore, what I would also do is I would think about getting a solid verse 1, verse 2 lead vocal on this, because it seems like it's a beat and then there's a hook, but there's no verse. It seems like it's missing something. And I know with techno, things do get repetitive. That is, that's the way things are with techno. It's meant to be played in a club and to dance to. So I get that part, but I just feel like I want to hear like I want to feel like all those like 90s house groups like Ace of Base and, groups like that. They always had vocals. They always had like vocals out front. And that's just, my personal preference. The track is good. Don't get me wrong. The mix is good. I feel like it's missing something. I feel like it's missing a verse vocal. So I'll just say, feels like the vocals are all backing vocals and hook vocals, needs a verse vocal. And that might also mean adding a section or two, So yeah, that's what I would think about doing if it were me. All right, let's move on to Patrick Eblin, Into Dust, final mix. Let's give it a listen. Never say final mix, because before you know it, you'll have final mix 2, final mix 7.
Nothing lasts forever. Get off the top, I've told you so. You try to piece it all together. You never could just let it go. You tried your best to micromanage. All your ducks were in a row. Always blustering advantage. Seems I wrecked this puppet show. But now you've learned that all that time and all that fun was all for naught. And now you can't hold on. No, you can't take back. Some things can't be unsought. All those mountains you've built up, from all those things that drove you nuts, from all you've known and all you touched, crumbles before you into dust. From the bottom of your soul, slowly slipping through your rabbit hole. Trying to keep control. The end was never in your plan. The odds on your path still break you. Oh, it will not happen strong. Make it breaking no road boundary. No one ever dared to prove you wrong. In the end, the truth has taken all the confidence and calm. Everyone you harmed, every dream you crushed, and now you're all alone. On those nights it kept you up, all alone with your mistrust, and all your dreams were not enough to fill that space devoid of love. When everything
turn to dust. So take it or leave it. Looking back now, was it all she wanted? Such a dream, never all that she got. Looking back now, was it all she wanted? Such a dream, never all that she got. Looking back now, was it all she wanted? Such a dream, never all that she got. Looking back now, was it all she wanted? Such a dream, never all that she got. Or is it all she got? Or is it all she got? Or is it all she got? Looking back now, was it all she wanted? Such a dream, never all that she got.
Cool. That was intense. Okay, so a lot of comments on here. I like the track. I like the vocals. I like the singer. I like that you can go back and forth between sung and screamed vocals. I love that kind of stuff. There's something off with the bass, especially like not so much in this section, like the little breakdown section, but like here and then like out to the end. It's like the bass is like barely there. I'm hearing mostly guitar, mostly drums, and not a whole lot of bass. Like the bass needs, we need some sub reinforcement in the track. I would pull your sung vocals up a touch. There's something off about the screamed vocals. I'm not sure what it is. It's like when your sung vocals come in, they're very direct, they're very clear, they're very like in focus. But when your scream vocals are there, it's almost like you need to use a different EQ curve, a different EQ setting or something. They just seem like there's something not in focus about them. That's all I can really tell. During the solo, I would definitely just keep a rhythm guitar there. Keep some rhythm guitars and just automate them down in the mix. Anytime you cut down to just bass and drums and this kind of music, it all of a sudden gets really hollow sounding. So I would consider that. And then as I tell a lot of rock groups and metal groups, your rhythm guitars are almost disappearing in mono when I listen to it in mono. I would consider tracking a third rhythm part straight up the center, and that'll give you, and you put it way back in the mix, and that'll give you mono compatibility in case this is listened to on a little portable speaker or any sort of sound system that sums the left and right channels together. So that's my feedback. It's I wouldn't call it a final mix. And as someone said, there is never a final mix, and that is those are wise words, because you think you have a final mix, and then you go listen to your own songs 3 years later, and you're like, why did I do that? I want to change that. I want to change that. So, but yeah, I mean, I love the track. Don't get me wrong. Just a lot of mixed things I would do differently with it. Okay. So Patrick uploaded 3 different tracks. Let's get through these other 4, and then if I have time, I'll come back to Patrick's other 2 tracks, which I'm sure we will. Okay, let's move on to Jesse, Starburst Sunrise. Let's give it a listen. Okay, so overall, I think the biggest issue with this is the timing. The drums, like right from the get go, it's just like a 6/8 groove, you know, boot to cut to cut to. But it sounds like the snare on the 4th, 8th note is like a little behind consistently, like to cut to cut. You know what I mean? And I think that is throwing off the groove of the whole song. It's not that any of the performances are bad. I just think that the drums need to be aligned with the rest of the track. And you could go through, and you could do this different ways. You could do it with flex time. Probably a cleaner way is just to go through with manual editing and sort of line things up. It almost sounds like all of the other instruments are like a hair, you know, I don't know, like 100 milliseconds or something ahead of the drums, which normally you don't want that. You want the transients of the drums to be out in front of the arrangement. So like if something has to rush, it's usually the drums that you want to rush if it has to rush, or the bass. So I would really play around with the timing of the track, and I think that'll fix a lot of issues. There's a few like little pitchy spots in the vocal, but I like the vocal. I appreciate the rawness of the vocal, but you can hit the high notes. Maybe just tune up those few little spots. There's some double layered solos where you're not playing the same thing in both layers, and it just kind of comes across as, chaos instead of like, here's our solo, here's what it sounds like. It doesn't sound like any of the solos are bad. They sound good. So I would just pick one that is the best, or comp together the 2 takes and create a new take that can just be front and center, and then bam, there's the solo without all the doubles. If you want to do doubling, I would just use like an effect, like some chorus or modulation or something, or some slapbacks or something like that, slapback delays that sort of give the illusion of a double. If you're gonna double up a lead like that just to thicken it, you really have to make sure that they are in like perfect alignment, or close to perfect alignment. And the guitar tone overall is a little shrill for my taste. I would pull back. When you double up left and right rhythm guitars, you don't always have to play at high gain. You could actually turn the gain down a little bit. So that's what I would do with it. A good start. Just needs some mix changes, and I would say the main thing is some timing edits, some timing changes. All right, let's move on to the Brown Keys. Heartbreaks. Love the channel. Thanks for all the insight into Logic Pro. Let's give it a listen. 149. So it's only, I'm assuming this is probably a work in progress.
Said high styles, they've gone wild. And deaf toes that profile. My black skin, they low down. And they're gonna hold down. So we make love to slow down the impact of more rounds. My heart pumps, my whole style, and makes girls make them go out. Got me crossed up, mess around, fucked up, I'm a mess now. Baby, don't change, could you stay down? Cause your loyalty, it always comes round. And it's true for all in the show now, that you are, you're the gold child. So baby, don't change, you can't now, cause your day, that's gonna come now. That's why I pray that the clouds don't blind the sun now. Or them sun rays, you know they beam out over my flesh. You know I need now. I need your love, your smile. Trust in your now. That's your my love. Yeah, you're my child. Yeah, you're all mine. So when I smile, it's cause of your love. When it comes around, when I'm low down, you pick me up. So I float now. So please don't let me down.
Yeah, cool stuff. I mean, very short. I almost feel like I've got like a couple of really cool hooks in here. A couple of really cool hooks in here, but there's like no verse. I almost like feel like, you know, like why 149? Like why not insert a couple of verses in here and just spit some rhymes or something? You know what I mean? Like I think that would be fantastic. I mean, the performances are good. Like the vocal performance is fantastic. I like the real drums. I like I like the feel of the drums too, but I would layer up your snare drum with a sample. And I would also pull up the keyboards, all the keys, and to kind of fill the mid range a little bit more. But overall, great track. I just wish it was longer. You know what I mean? I wish it was like a full length track. It sounds like an intro to something bigger, you know. But yeah, good work. Good work. All right, let's go to Overtone Rise. Mixia Medium Neutral. I don't know what any of this means, but we'll give it a listen. Yeah, cool track. I like all the live instruments. I like all that. My main critique here is that I think the whole mix, or really the whole master, seems really like mid-high forward, almost like there's too much mid-range saturation, at least for my ear. I would tame that back a bit, and I'm not sure if that's just like an EQ change on some of the instruments, or if like you need to tame back your saturation a little bit. What I would do is, yeah, I would maybe keep that same amount of saturation in mid top end, in like the top end of the drums and in the vocal, but like in the guitars are also in that range, and I would give the guitars a little more warmth and a little more body, to kind of fill that space, because I'm hearing like, you know, bass and kick, and then like a hollow place, and then like this like more like this really bright guitar, and then a bright vocal. I would pull some of that information from the guitar track down to fill the mid-range a little bit better. But otherwise, good work. Yeah, I mean, just again, more mix changes. Okay, let's go to About Time Finished from Hole's Tragic. Let's give it a listen.
Standing in a glass house, I don't really know what we both fight about. Between the lies we weave inside of stories, mandatory that we have to spin a web to get our feelings out. I don't think I've ever seen a bigger truth than the fact that we can't be a number true. We're so fixed on who is now the one that we just don't add up, and now it's probably better to divide the two. There ain't nothing left for me now, so I'ma get away from here. Rather be gone and on my own, so I'ma go disappear. It's about time I'm gone, pack my bags and headed my way now. It's about time moving on, leaving this place behind for good now. It's about time I'm gone.
Yeah, what the main thing I'm hearing is like in this main like group vocal hook, it I don't know, I think it needs some more work. Like there's a good hook there. It's a good dun 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 dun. Like I'm hearing a melody, but it's like the voices almost seem like they're all like, I don't know, they're all together, like they're not in their own space or something. Like I think maybe a little more production work on that hook, and you'll have a really strong hook that people will remember the song by.
In a glass disappear. It's about time I'm gone, pack my bags and headed my way now. It's about time moving on, leaving this place behind for good now. It's about time I'm gone, pack my bags and headed my way now. It's about time moving on, leaving you here behind for good now. Screaming at each other from the other room, tossing blame back and forth as we accuse. I don't see how we can keep this up. We give an inch but take a mile, but never do it in each other's shoes. Just another sign I'll take for me to leave. Just another ship that's gone and lost at sea. But we were overboard and now we're drowning, but I'd rather sink to swim than stay and live a life I have to grieve. There ain't nothing left for me now, so I'ma get away from here. Rather be gone and on my own, so I'ma go disappear. It's about time I'm gone, pack my bags and
I can hear you're doing it. Like there's like a harmony, like a falsetto in there. It's about time. You know what I mean? Like all those, yeah, it's just they've all got to line up and they've got to like work together. Doesn't seem like they're working together. They sound a little cluttered, and I'm not really sure what's causing that. I don't know if it's a timing issue or maybe just some mix changes. It could just be that. And then like in these little gaps here, these little breaks where you do this like filtered megaphone effect, I'd pull up your vocal a little bit there. It's getting kind of buried.
it's about time I'm gone, pack my bags and headed my way now. It's about time moving on, leaving this place behind for good now. It's about time I'm gone, pack my bags and headed my way now. It's about time.
Yeah, I mean, you could have a really catchy hook there. Just you really sit down and really look at that hook. Like, you could have a really catchy hook there that is memorable to people, but it's just like I think the production is holding it back. Awesome. Yeah. Just get that hook fixed and then do a master on it. And I mean, I think you're pretty much there. Maybe a few more touch-ups on the lead vocal, but I think the lead vocal fits the genre. So, okay, so that's all of them. Let's go back to Patrick and listen to his last two, and then we'll call it a wrap for today. So Patrick Eblin's Hexamoon Super Final Master. I think, as we said earlier, never say final. Yeah, cool stuff. I love the intro on this. I love this, the whole feel of this track. I would say in these big group vocal hooks, bring the lead vocal out more because you're kind of getting buried. Kind of like with your other track, I would say more bass. It feels like the guitar to bass ratio is a little off. I'm hearing too much of this bright, like mid-range, like bite to the guitar, but not a whole lot of sub. And I think that's holding it back. So kind of a similar comment to the last tune you uploaded, track, Patrick. And very last for today, we're going to check out another one of Patrick's tracks called Painted in Cruelty. Let's give this a listen. Yeah, this is some good stuff. I love the guitar playing, some solid soloing. I just bring up, I mean, be more confident with your solos, bring them up in the mix a little bit. The main thing, again, it's this kind of the same comment as the other two tracks. Like, I love your voice, I love the vibe, I love the intensity, but something about the bass just isn't supporting the rest of the band. You know what I mean? Like, I could tell in this track especially that there is distortion on the bass or some sort of drive on the bass. It might be worth it to split your bass track up into a dirty bass track and a clean bass track and blend those together, because there's certain spots where, like, the guitar's doing its own thing, the drums are doing their thing, but I can internalize what the chord progression is, but I'm not hearing the chord progression because the guitar's kind of doing its own thing. And the bass, like, I can tell it's playing something, but it's like, I'm not hearing a solid, like, fundamental, foundation where the bass needs to be. So because when you distort bass, you lose some of the tone as a trade-off to get more grit and get more, punch to it. What I would consider doing is maybe either dialing back the drive on the bass to let some more of that natural fundamental come through, or maybe blend a dirty bass sound with a clean bass sound just to make sure we're getting that solid foundation. Especially with really low tuned guitars like this, you've got to have that foundation, because often when you're mixing these types of guitars, the low cut filter, the high pass filter, ends up eating into the fundamental of the guitar, and so the bass needs to be there to reinforce that. So that's like my main criticism on all three of those tracks is it just doesn't seem like it has like a solid foundation. So, all right, we have one last submission here, Broken 2 by Low. Let's give this a listen, then we'll wrap it up for tonight.
Just being open, I wanna fly, and when I'm sober, I'd rather die, and when I'm with you, I come alive, when it's just you and I just being open, I know I wanna fly, and when I'm sober, I think I'd rather die, and when I'm with you, it's like I come alive, when it's just you. All the imperfections, every one of your flaws makes me see just who you are, and you're so beautifully scarred. They may run away from you, but I run right where you are. They may run away from you, but I run right to. They may not understand you, wasn't meant to. Beautiful disasters, beautiful disasters, beautifully broken, beautifully broken, beautiful disasters, beautiful disasters, beautifully broken, beautifully broken. They call us heathens, we go off the deep end, we dance with our demons, we dance with our demons. They call us heathens, we go off the deep end, we dance with our demons. Some would say we're sick and twisted, maybe out of our mind, wicked and sadistic shit, but when we kick it, it's fun. They may run away from you, but I run right where you are. They may run away from you, but I run right to. They may not understand you, and I don't think that they get you. Or maybe they wasn't meant to. Maybe they wasn't meant to. They may not understand you, and I don't think that they get you. Or maybe they wasn't meant to. Maybe they wasn't meant to. Beautiful disasters, beautiful disasters, beautifully broken, beautifully broken, beautiful disasters, beautiful disasters, beautifully broken, beautifully broken. And you and me and we are beautifully broken. And you and me and we are beautiful disasters, beautiful disasters, beautifully broken, beautifully broken, beautiful disasters, beautiful disasters, beautifully broken, beautifully broken. They call us heathens, we go off the deep end, we dance with our demons, we dance with our demons. They call us heathens, we go off the deep end, we dance with our demons, we dance with our demons. Just being open, I know I wanna fly. And when I'm sober, I think I'd rather die. And when I'm with you, it's like I come alive. When it's just you and I.
Yeah, I think the track is pretty solid. I like the beat and everything. I like all the other elements in here. I think just instrumentally, I think it takes a long time to get from the beginning to where the beat kicks in. I think that's like, yeah, that's like a minute and 15 in. I would maybe consider bringing some of this stuff in here. Even if you bring it in kind of more minimally or filtered or something. I think that my number one critique on this is I think the vocals really need to be gone through with a fine-tooth comb and produced. They sound underproduced. The vocals to me sound like tracks that were recorded at the studio, slapped on a demo mix, and call it a day. You need some EQ, you need some tuning, you need some compression, you need some alignment as well. Are there two singers here too? It almost sounds like there's two vocalists. If you're gonna kind of collab together and have two vocalists, if that is indeed true, I would maybe consider like breaking up the different sections so each person sort of has their own section rather than just singing everything all together. Maybe like in the choruses, But yeah, I think it's got this is a good start. Like you've got a good hook. Like the beautifully broken melody is a good melody. And I think it's a good hook. So keep working on it. Really work on refining your vocals, and maybe think about bringing in some of the drum elements a little bit sooner, some other instrumental elements to fill this space a little bit. Also, your 808 seemed a little distorted, which is not like the end of the world, but I don't know, maybe if there's some saturation or something on the 808, maybe dial it back just a touch. So all right, guys, that is where we're going to end it for tonight. As always, a big thanks to you all for being here, and a big thanks to Boombox for making this all possible. So we'll wrap it up with a bit of a short night. Next week, we're still doing a stream on Friday at 6 p.m. I'll try to get the link out for that on Wednesday. And then the following week, I'm going to be at NAMM. So we're going to take a break that week, but then I'll come back the week after NAMM. All right, guys. Thanks again. Thank you so much for watching. And stay safe. And I will see you all next week. Take it easy. Bye.